Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing out there? Whew. It's Thursday, in case you weren't aware. But it might not be Thursday when you're watching this, so just letting you know that it is now. Oh, man, I'm going to tell you, let me just start easy here today. I was so worked up yesterday a little bit, obviously. And this week has been a little bit tough, because 2 times with my computer, bugging out on me and, having to go in and finish the show and do it, Anyway, that kind of stuff just kind of sends me a little bit. And obviously, I was frustrated with some of that stuff that I was talking about yesterday with YouTube and everything. So I decided today, we'll take it light a little bit. We're going to take it light as we take it here on Operation Status Quo, because we still have to have some fun and, poke a little fun in some of the, the mainstream nonsense that we see out there, because that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. I am Pete Palma. Hello and welcome. I thank you for being here. If you haven't been here before, thank you for your time. If you have been here before, thanks for coming back. I appreciate your support, with the likes and the shares and the subscribes and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate all you guys out there. This is Operation Status Quo, the space where we observe the status quo of life, the space where we learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 19th of October in the good year 2023. And today's program is entitled Genderless, Generation Genderless. That's what I called it. Generation Genderless. Because yesterday on the news, and of course I didn't get into that yesterday because I was on a whole nother tirade, but I did see the I guess, is it the health czar or whoever's in charge of the health, the trans woman man thing, from she, whatever. Well, it's a he that became a she, right? Was from Pennsylvania. And I saw something on the news yesterday that this individual, I guess, is putting out now some mandate, this pronoun mandate, of something, or I didn't even read the article. I don't even know. It's like the first thing I thought of when I saw the headline is like, if I was ever anywhere and anybody tried to force me to say whatever bullshit they want to say, I get worked up that way, because first and foremost, I'm a big believer that everyone should do what feels right for them and they should live their life. I have no problem with anything. I have no problem with somebody doesn't know their gender. They want to become a man or woman. I really don't care. I really, really don't. There's nothing against anybody or anything in that regard. It's really the thing that gets me about it is how, they turn it into a campaign. They utilize it to manipulate young minds and such, for legitimate situations that people, are in that situation. There should be compassion and there should just be understanding amongst all of us, because we're all humans on a journey and everyone's in a different space and we should all respect each other in that regard. But it becomes like a big cartoon when they put things out the way they do, like, what they're trying to do within the schools. Just, the pronoun thing. And, even the idea of giving medications and surgeries to children prepubescent, to prevent, them from developing. And again, it's not about, it's just, to me, that's just harmful physically. Like you're taking some sort of, medications and such and altering the normal hormonal function of the body, right? I'm speaking from, that viewpoint. You want to become a woman, whatever. To me, it's fine. If you're born a boy, you're a boy. If you're born a girl, you're a girl. And as you get older, you do what you want to do. When you're 18, if you're a boy, you want to lop off your nuts. That's up to you. You do whatever feels right for you. There's no judgment here on that. But where I get myself worked up is, when I see how it's perpetuated through, mainstream, and they make everybody look like an asshole, because they want to, say somebody's a man. And just the fact that there's an argument over it makes absolutely no sense. It's blatantly, unless humans are going to start being born with no sexuality, no reproductive organs. I don't know what to say. It is what it is, people. Okay. We have to, deal with it. You're not going to plant, a tree and then going to have like, a cow grow out of the ground. You know what I'm trying to say? A tree, seeds, it'll make a tree. You know what I'm trying to say? You're not going to put seeds in the ground to grow cucumbers and then chickens pop up out of the ground. I'm just trying to say it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, I thought we have a little bit of fun because I've been, the last couple of days been a little serious, and I was yelling yesterday a lot. I'm sorry if I made anybody upset out there with that, but hopefully the computer will stick with me this time. If all of a sudden the video's over and I'm gone, you know what happened there, because that's just the way it happens sometimes. But I did find this information, which I found, because come on, guys, we gotta have, and this, please, no disrespect. Again, Operation Status Quo is a space of non-judgment and love for everybody. It really is, as crazy as it might seem. And if you are a trans out there, one, you're probably not even watching me talk because you probably find me repulsive. But if not, otherwise, just please know that this is all done out of love. And, I think that people, should do what they want to do, but we still have to have fun. And I point this stuff out because I want you to see, in a way how, the mainstream perpetuates these ideas and the kind of thought processes they try to instill and program into people's brains. Okay. And most people aren't looking at things critically. They're just soaking in information. Oh, this is what we got to do. This is what's right now. It's just like they don't even understand. So anyway, so these are some items not to say to a trans person, okay? These are things you do not want to say to a trans person because they would find them insulting, okay? So the first one here is, so what's your real name? I can't help it. It's just so, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to bust chops. All right. So, please, let's just, just go with it. Please put your comments in. Let me know things that you think might be inappropriate to say to a trans person, but you don't want to question that because it's invasive as it disregards the individual's chosen identity. Don't you know, they chose their identity. So now you're insulting them by asking them what their birth name is because that doesn't apply to who they are. And we should respect how an individual has identified themselves regardless of the name they were given at birth, right? So we don't want to ask somebody, what was your real name? So I have a friend actually that became a trans, and that, well, I guess is I don't know how you're supposed to even say it, but he was a guy. I guess technically he still is, but he's a woman now. I don't know how far he's gone into becoming a woman, but he was Ben, and now he's Bonnie. So it can always work out. Like maybe you have, especially if you have a name like I'm Pete, so I would have to be like Patricia, or maybe I could be Petunia, or Penelope. Penelope's good. I could be Penelope. I like that. Okay, all right. So and you can choose for yourself. That's how beautiful it is. You don't want to ask somebody, have you had the surgery? It's like, can you imagine, like, it's just so funny. Like, who would even ask people, like, if you're talking to a person that is trans, like, and they tell you their name is Sue, and they're a man that became a woman. Are you going to say, oh, so Sue, what was your real name? Like, why would it even matter? That's just like funny too, like the way they say it. Would you ask somebody if you had the surgery? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what are you packing down there? You still got your, or is that, what are we doing down there? What's going on? So don't ask them if they had the surgery. They don't like that. And don't say you don't look trans. You don't look trans. Geez, you almost look like a normal human being. You don't look trans. But of course, this statement invalidates and implies that trans people must look, quote unquote, a certain way to be valid. Every gender expression should be embraced and accepted as accurate without judgment. Every gender expression. That's the part that really gets me. It's like, again, how they're trying to manipulate and turn us into these homogenized humanoids. It's really funny because what do you mean by every gender expression? There's two genders. It's a man and it's a woman. And then even from that point on, if you're a man that decides you want to be a woman, then you're still man or woman, right? There's only, so how many expressions are there? There's a man, a straight woman, a gay man, a gay woman. Then there's a trans, one that becomes the opposite sex, right? And then, I don't even know, right? So that's you don't look trans. People tell me that all the time. Hey, Pete, something about you. You just don't look trans. You should say that to people who aren't trans. Gee, you don't look trans. What are you talking about? I'm not trans. All right. Which bathroom do you use? Don't ask these people which bathroom they use. Just let them go pee by a tree or whatever it is. Maybe they go poop behind a bush or something in the public park, but you don't want to be saying to them, which bathroom do you use? Because what is that? That corresponds to the answer answer is simple, the one that corresponds to their gender identity. Asking trans individuals this question puts them in an awkward and intrusive situation. I just want to know, it's really simple. If you have a penis, you go into the men's room. Whatever you were previous or whatever you're trying to be, if you have something dangling there, you're a man, right? So you go into the men's room. And if you have excuse me, I don't want to be a vagina. If you have one of those, you go into the ladies' room. I mean, it's pretty, unless though there are exceptions, with babies. If you have a baby, man or a woman could bring the baby into the changing station into the room of the opposite sex. So, I mean, I guess it can get a little confusing there, but of course, we don't want to put the pressure on a child of having to associate with a gender, right? That's something we want to work up to as they get older. So let's better keep that in mind too. How about this one? This is a good one. I could never date a trans person. Can you imagine saying that to somebody? Oh, you're trans. Oh, gee, I could never date a trans person. Now, I don't know. Could I date a trans person? Let me think. If it was a woman that became a man, I guess not, unless the woman still had a vagina, right? Because then technically I'm not gay, I guess. But if I got a man, what did I say? What did I say first? A man that became a woman. Right. If I get a man, though, and becomes a woman, I guess that's kind of a problem. Then I am, even if they got rid of their penis, and I don't know what they do down there. I mean, I guess they can make something, right? They I'm sorry. I'm not going to go down. Anyway, they don't say to a trans person that you can never date a trans person, because you never know. You might decide to change your gender one day as well. Oh, and you don't want to tell them you're so brave. I always get a kick out of that one, because while meant as a compliment, this can reinforce the idea that being trans is an inherent struggle. Instead, it's essential to recognize trans people as individuals living and striving for the same things as everyone else. Well, that I agree with. I mean, we're all human beings living and striving to achieve the same type of things, just basic happiness, loving our lives, just fun, a little bit, laughter, a little bit of just companionship, whatever. But don't tell them they're brave. Although I feel they're brave. If you're going to go through that sort of manipulation of your body, I mean, you got to be pretty brave. It's like, I mean, that's a lot of, I was going to say torture, but it's a lot of work either way. Let's just put it that way. So you guys, keep up the good fight. It's a lot of work out there to transform your body into another gender. A lot of, drugs you got to take, I guess, and surgeries. I can't even imagine what that does to your brain and your liver and everything else. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Maybe you can that's a great idea too. When people are taking all these medications to change their gender, and it like F's with all their other organs and such, right? Then they could do the same thing. Like if your kidney goes bad, or something. Well, you have two kidneys, so let's just say let's do it this way. Say your liver goes bad, right? Now it's a struggle because your liver's dying. Now you can take one of your kidneys and say that kidney identifies as a liver, right? And you can just replace that organ. Maybe your heart's going bad, so you have the kidney, right? Or maybe you can get your appendix. If you have your appendix still, or your tonsil, something that you don't really need so much, a gallbladder, I don't know, something that you can say, my gallbladder now identifies as my heart, because I need a heart transplant. So, we'll do it that way. So you're so brave. Don't say that. What was it like being born the wrong gender? Oh my gosh. I mean, what kind of social misfits would even say these type of things? Trans people aren't born the wrong gender. Come on, you guys. Come on. They're born themselves. That's right. Asking this question implies that there is a right gender and can be dismissive of their identity. It's best to ask trans people about their experiences in ways that don't negate their identity. So, look at the picture of this one they show, though. I guess this is probably a woman that became a man. Look at that. Oh, my God. Yeah, I hate to make fun. I really do. But I would not kiss that. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Anyway, I digress, because I'm not here to insult people. We're just having fun with the over-the-top ridiculousness of the way our society portrays these type of things. So don't ask people what's it like being the wrong gender, because there is no wrong gender, because there is no gender at all. We are just homogenized humanoids. We are homogenized humanoids doing what the mainstream says. All right. What do your parents think? I guess you don't want to get into that because what's it say here? The question assumes that accepting parents is necessary for one to be trans. However, parental acceptance is not always the case. And, you don't want to need your parents' support for anything, everything, right? You growing up, you become a big boy, a big girl, or a big boy that becomes a girl, or a big girl that becomes a boy. And, you're on your own now. You pull up your pants or your skirt and maybe half and half, you're on your own, and you put your big boy skirt on, put your big boy skirt on, and, and you just deal with it. Okay. All right. So don't ask them about their parents. I'm sure it's tumultuous. What would you, if you were a parent and, your kid became a trans? I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't accept him, but I mean, it would be a little difficult, right? If all of a sudden your son comes home and goes, "Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore. I want to get my nails done and get my hair done. And I just want to be a free woman. I'm tired of baseball." And, so that can cause problems in the family. How do you handle lovemaking? Can you imagine asking so what do you do down there? I mean, it's got to be a mess. Don't ask them because it implies that trans people can only have coupling in specific ways. No, you can do everything. They got bestiality and everything else out there. People like to sleep with goats and all, for God's sake. So don't worry about it. I'm sure you can figure it out. As long as there's parts down there, even if they're the same parts, whatever, it'll all work out. People find a way to get their nookie in, if you would. All right. Anyway, how do trans people know they are trans? You don't want to ask me, how did you know that you were a trans? I was like, I woke up one day and decided I hated my penis. I put it on a table and I smashed it with a hammer, and I've been happy ever since. But everyone's journey to self-discovery is unique. Asking this question implies that there is a definitive answer or timeline to discovering one's gender identity. I guess that means, I'm saying all this, right? Maybe 5 years from now, all of a sudden I wake up and have a realization that I am a woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I've always wanted to be a beautiful woman. It's like Monty Python. I've always wanted to be a lumberjack, and that song, they talk about being a woman. So anyway, you don't want to ask that question. What was that question again? How do trans people know they are trans? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. How do you know you're a human being? I mean, it's the same, it's just like a stupid thing. I miss the old you. Can you imagine? I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a great job. You're so brave. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. You're so brave. And, but the truth is, I miss the old you. Remember when, we used to go out and pound some beers and, pick up some hookers? It's just not the same, now that you don't have a penis anymore. Are you sure it's not just a phase? Again, these are things that you do not want to say to trans people, okay, guys? We don't want to insult them. Are you sure it's not just a phase? Well, it could be because they say, really gender identity is fluid. And, you might decide you are a man for a while and then decide you want to be a woman again, or, vice versa. I mean, that's the beauty of life, too. You can live like, just say you think you're going to live to be about 100 years old. You can chop up your life into 4 quarters, 25-year segments of man, woman, and go back and forth and do both. Why not? We should, really, honestly, it's this way you can get the most out of life and experience both genders in one embodiment of your soul. It'd be really amazing. But you act like a typical male or female, so you don't want to say that. Instead, try to understand the individual's experience and validate their feelings. Please, let's validate each other's feelings and hold everybody by the hand so they don't feel bad about anything. Ask questions that show you care and are open to learning about them as a person. So if you act like a guy, it's so crazy. It's like, well, because you are a guy. I mean, I understand you're wearing a dress and got some hormones and you grew some boobs or something, but I mean, okay, you'll never be a real man or woman. Well, I mean, that is not enough. I mean, I understand, you shouldn't say that, but I mean, quite honestly, is it not the truth? I mean, no matter what you do, you are always, we're born one way. And the only way to have that changed is through invasive surgeries and and hormone therapies that, you know what I mean? So you're not ever going to be real. You're going to be a form of, something created, and again, I'm sorry. If you happen to be a trans out there, please don't plot my death. I'm not against you. It's just, go be what you got to be and just do it. This is ridiculous, the shit that they say, it is what it is, and if people are going to give you a hard time and you want to, this is how you express yourself and how you identify and you live, just be tough about it. Yeah. That's what I say. Just do what you want to do. Yeah, people call me weird my whole life. I know it's not the same thing per se, maybe as, changing your gender, but at the same time, I've always gotten, a lot of flack for different things. And I always just tell people to go F themselves, and I keep doing what I want to do. So just do what you want to do, and don't even worry about me making jokes. You don't want to say, it's hard for me to get your pronouns right. Because, you don't want them to feel like it's, with what it says, respecting people's pronouns is essential, even if it takes some practice. Instead of shying away from the conversation, take the time to learn about pronouns and practice using them correctly. Show that you are willing to make the effort to ensure everyone feels respected. I'll say this as far as that goes, all this stuff they have with the Z and that. Go back and watch my other show, the Pronoun Showdown, when I was talking about all the different pronouns. And that's fine, if they want to have all that. But I'm not playing with that part, okay? if it's a guy and he became a girl, all right, you want to be she? I'll call you she. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going down this road of, Z and Zeph and X and I don't know, all the shit. You guys know better than me probably, especially if you're millennials or younger. You guys know what's going on. If you're my age, Gen X or older, you're having a good time with this show right now because this is all how crazy it all is. How do you know you're really a male or female? So you don't want to ask them that either because I guess we don't want to put any pressure on them. If they say that that's what they are, then that's what they are. You don't want to tell a trans person, oh, I could tell immediately. That, it's like saying, oh boy, whoever your surgeon was, they did a crappy ass job because I saw a man walking up to me 10 miles away. I don't care how slinky your little sundress is and your hair is done. But I mean, your Adam's apple is sticking out like Pinocchio's nose when he tells a lie. So I could tell immediately. Don't tell a trans person that you could tell immediately. Let's see. How many more of these do we have? Are we almost? Oh, we have a couple more. What if you change your mind? You don't want to say that to it. What if you change your mind? It's like investing in, I don't know, some kind of project or something that I don't know, I don't know. It'd be like you buy want to build your own house and you buy all the materials and you lay down the foundation and you put up a wall or two and then just go, F it. You know what I'm saying? And you wind up leaving all those materials to go to waste. The house is never built. So I think, once you take that step to do that, you're pretty much all in. So you hopefully, what if you change your mind? I mean, I don't know. What I'm going to say, if I change my mind, I guess I fucked up, but that's why I said before, we should chunk it into 4 quarters and go back and forth, male, female, female. And they should, obviously they can do these surgeries and these things. They should, just work that into the protocol of being able to reverse. It's like getting a tattoo removed, right? It's got to be similar to that. All right, here we go. But you were so handsome or you were so pretty. You don't want to tell somebody how beautiful or handsome they were before they decided to totally, manipulate and what's the word I really wanted to say? Not manipulate. Oh my God, the word I always say and I can't think of it now. But you just do before you decided to slaughter your body. You were so pretty. You were so handsome before. But don't say that because they're still pretty and they're still handsome, just in a different way, just in a strange way. That's all. All right. I don't believe in being transgender. Well, you don't want to say that to somebody, obviously. I mean, that's like, really, that's something you wouldn't say in general to anybody type thing. You don't, it's like, I don't believe in being transgender. It's like, it's almost like going up to, I don't know, like a black person or something, saying I don't like blacks, or, going up to just saying I hate women, I hate men, I don't like kids, I like to kick dogs. I don't believe in Jesus, you know what I mean? I don't believe in being transgender. Well, transgender people exist regardless whether one believes it or not. This statement is invalidating and dismissive of their lived experiences. For sure. Oh, and that's it. Okay, there we go. All right, that was the last one. So don't, what was that? What did I say that last one was? I don't believe in being transgender. I don't believe in it. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's not happening. People aren't doing this. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Heyo.
Oh my God. Well, that was fun today. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we had some fun today, and the computer made it. Even if it crashes right now, I still did everything I had to do, and I would just miss saying goodbye because that's about what I'm about to do. I want to thank you so much for being with me here today for this episode, Generation Genderless. It's a crazy world out there, but we have to have some fun a little bit. While everybody's blowing each other up and around the world, and we're getting ready for Armageddon, we have to still laugh at ourselves and have a little bit of fun. The human condition is really just over the top amazing, isn't it, when you think about it, and how it can branch off into, I mean, something like this, trans, it's a little easier to joke around about in certain regard, as opposed to, these crazy religious zealots, that, want to, slaughter mankind, or whatever side, just like that. It's so crazy just how the human mind is and all these different facets and how life is created in all these different ways. And that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. We observe, we flow with what's going on in life, and then we create what we want to create. And that's what you can do. So you can be what you are now. You can change your gender. You can do whatever you want to do. And it's up to you. It's just about being nice, being respectful, being happy, living from your heart, letting God, guide your life, the universe, source, whatever word you want to put on it, maybe aliens, whatever. Let something higher than you guide your life. And I always say we're heading towards beautiful things. It seems crazy, but I mean it is crazy. But we still have to laugh and have fun because life is short, and laughter is the best medicine, quite honestly. And I believe that's one medicine I would prescribe to everybody out there. All right. Hey, make sure you please like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course those you despise as well. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. God bless you out there. And until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo disengaged.